a replay for that. Hey everybody, my name is Aaron Orsino and I'm the program manager for Seed Network. And this is an info session for our business matchmaking grant. So this is our second round this year, considered our summer program. And this time around, we have some good lessons learned from last time. But in this webinar, I wanted to show you guys how the program worked, tell you guys about the past winners and kind of show some case studies about the actual program and the effects they had on their business. And then also talk you guys through the application process and the matchmaking process and tell you guys what a good application looks like. So let's go ahead and kick off here. I'm gonna go and share my screen. All right, so one of the lessons that we learned from last time was that for some folks, okay, so let me zoom back. So for some people, the matchmaking grant is kind of a new concept. So what actually happens is within this business matchmaking grant, we take two businesses. One of them is a recipient and one of them is a service provider. And we pair them together, and then Seed Network will pay up to $4,000 to pay for the services rendered. So those different services are things in the realm of marketing, legal, branding, e-commerce, social media, photography, public relations, executive coaching, plant suppliers, cultural consultants. And then the eligibility rules are that you must be in the Bay Area, and then also that you identify as a minority owned business owner. So I'll go ahead and go through a couple examples, which you can find on our website. So first example is accelerating an online business. So say, for example, you've created a series of art webinar classes online, and you connect with an online marketer who will be your B2B service provider, who you hire to increase reach and awareness. And as a result, you receive 100 new enrollments this month. I'll just zoom in a little bit. Second one here is creating a legal foundation for growth. So you run a small startup and you received your first round of seed funding. You connect with an attorney who creates a term sheet, and that allows you to take on investors, and then you end up raising $1 million in funding. And then Seed would pay the attorney to complete those services for you. And then our last example, developing a brand that captures the imagination. So you've got a cupcake company or a bakery perhaps, but are looking to build a stronger brand identity. You partner with a design agency to create a new logo and packaging. And with that, you land a major distribution deal, and then your products are featured in local market chains. So that's why it's called matchmaking, and that's how the matchmaking works. That's probably the most kind of like radical thing about our program. So I'm gonna pause there and see if anybody has any questions on that. All right, cool. So I'm gonna go over the actual winners from last time. So if you go to success stories on our website, click on Bar Your Kitchen. So Bar Your Kitchen is a food truck concept based out of San Jose, and they partnered with Gourmand Group. And Gourmand Group does PR and marketing for food businesses. And within this, their project proposal was that they would have two parties on two different very special dates. So they're from San Jose and the area code is 408, and they wanted to throw a party on April 8th, 408, and have different dishes that were valued at with the cost 408. And they did something similar for 415, which is area code for San Francisco, and they had their menu items priced at 415. So Gourmand Agency helped them to build a social media campaign. They engaged with local influencers and then helped them to take high quality photographs and also built them a website. So with the results from that is they generated 6K from their opening parties. Total, they generated 9K from all three parties, which is 2.3 ROI on the original 4K investment. So that's Bar Your Kitchen. So that was our first grant winner. And then our second grant winner from last cohort was Victory Hall. And Victory Hall is a bar and cuisiniera in Soma. And recently they redid their interiors with a really cute, cool mural that features some original art. And they wanted to bring awareness to the new art and bring people to the space. So they partnered with Jimmy Flora, who is a brand strategist and social media manager. And he developed a series of events to bring people to the space, also publicize those events, and then also help to rebrand them as a kind of custom catering, not custom catering, but an event space so that local businesses could rent them out and host events there. So they ended up getting 33K in sales as a result of these different events, which is a huge magnifier or amplifier from the original 4K grant. So that was last quarter, and yep, we're pretty proud of the results that we had there. Okay, so I made a little guide for everybody just with lessons learned from our last grant cycle. So here it breaks down pretty clearly what the steps are to apply. And again, within this program, you're partnering with a B2B service provider. So let's just go through the steps here. Number one is determine who your partner is and who you're going to be actually working with on the project. And they're going to provide you the services. They'll pay up to 4K. So you can either find somebody that you know within your network, or a friend of a friend, or a referral. And if that's the case, all you need to do is ask them to actually join Seed Network. It's easy and free application process on our website. And then if you don't have somebody specifically in mind, then we can definitely help you find somebody. And this is just a really quick application process when it'll load, but let's just skip that. Or we can help you find somebody from our existing catalog. And we're working on expanding this quarter by quarter, but we have built a catalog here that will allow you to filter through different members and see what kind of services they provide. For our June, that might be coaching, professional development. But we've got a variety of different businesses here who are already enrolled in the network. So you might be able to find somebody to work with here. So after you determine who you want to work with, you can connect with that person using this outreach template below that I developed. I found that in the last round, there was a bit of kind of like approach anxiety with the business owner approaching the B2B service provider, not really knowing what to say. So this time around, I'm hoping to eliminate that friction by creating this plan, this outreach template, and also allowing during the application window to have a consultation with Desi or Desi's our executive director, where we'll invite the B2B service provider and you, and we can talk through what the application process looks like, and namely how to develop a project plan for the application that will really impress the judges. So that kind of goes to number 3. So schedule a consultation with Aaron and Desi. Oh, he is waiting in the lobby. Let's let her in. So this step is optional, but I highly recommend it. What's up, Pia?
Hi.
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
Right now, I'm just kind of going through some of the changes that we made for the program. One of the major ones being that we're trying to make it a lot easier for you to create the project plan with your B2B service provider, and really helping to guide that process a lot more actively. So we're going to allow consultations with Desi and I and your service provider, and we're also available to help make the introduction as well. So the window for consultations is the same window as the actual grant program. And these are the dates here. Might as well go through it, but today's the webinar. Applications open on Monday. And then the actual window is from the 27th all the way till July 22nd. So you'll have a month to do your consultation, develop your project plan, and also fill out your application. And then after that, we'll go into a review, and then the winners will be announced on August 8th. So going back up to the application process, or the steps to apply, after you meet with Desi or I, and you've connected with your B2B partner, then the next step is to work with them to create a sample plan. And we went ahead and went as far as creating a full sample plan around what, there's about 31 questions. The first 15 are just basic kind of, name, how long you've been in business and that sort of thing. And then 16 through 31 is actually your project plan. And the most meaty part of this actual application is talking through the results that you're expecting. Like if you were to get 4K, like what would that do for your business and how would you measure that? So the how would you measure bit is pretty important for us to see. What's the schedule for the project? So working through your provider with your B2B provider to just get pretty granular about the dates. And then another question about ROI, talking through the major hurdles and things like that. So it's the same application as last time, no changes to it. So if you were around last time, then it'll be pretty straightforward. But I did want to kind of highlight, like I'm going to show you guys really quickly, like some of the winning ones from last time. As you can see, they provided a lot of context in just terms of describing the project. Sorry, let me zoom out a little bit. Let's jump in. And then, describing the project, and then the ROI, pretty detailed about how they would measure it. And then the project plan, you can see that they just broke it down by month and then by week. So just understanding what the actual project management looks like. Just having just detailed week by week, that's what we look for in a good application. So these were the winning ones, and I can't share these with you, but I could definitely like just show them here for a moment. But with that, before I go through a dummy walkthrough of the application process, then I'm going to pause for questions. So did anybody have any questions?
Aaron, thank you so much for walking us through this. Do you have, do we have access to this Google Doc anywhere?
Yes, this one will be distributed to you. I'll go ahead and share it in the chat right now, because why not?
Oh,
but it will also come out to you in an email, but you can also grab it in the chat right now. So happy to do that. All right, so after you have that project plan complete, and you can reference the sample project plan to see kind of like a great example of what a project plan can look like, then the next step is to complete the application on Typeform. So we tried to make this as straightforward as possible. As a nonprofit ourselves, we have to go through a lot of grants, and I know that it can be really intimidating as a small business owner because you're already super busy with everything as it is. So Desi and I worked to make this really simple and really straightforward. So I'm just going to kind of go through this with just dummy data. So we'll put test, and what's your first name? What's your last name? That's email address, Aaron@Cultivate. Zip code 94115. What is the street of your business? It's like Steiner. Actually, let me not put my personal address. Test. Cool. Oops. I mean, do you guys want to see this? Is this helpful? Yeah. All right. Cool.
Yes.
Please.
All right. AaronBusiness.com. So it's your website address. All right. So next, they ask for the annual revenue of your business, and this is different than your personal revenue, but just the actual revenue for the business separately. So let's say we're just starting out, and it's just 5,000. And then what's your personal income? And then let's say I still work my regular job, so let's just say a nice 75K. And my age, let's say 100. identify as Filipino and Asian, male, gender is male, sexual orientation, straight. Describe the product or service your business sells. So we sell design, consulting, services. And it'll probably be a little bit more robust here. So let's hop into the sample plan at this point and then see the answers that we have there. So actually the sample plan starts at 16. So I'll just say we consult on UX for websites in order to optimize e-commerce checkout flows. All right. Okay, so now I'm gonna kind of jump into like a side-by-side. All right, oops. Here we go. Okay, so describe the product. Wait. Okay, I see. Let me go back. So in this case, it is a notebook company. And as you can see here, it's pretty detailed around providing the grant readers how you actually generate revenue and what your product is. All right, so the numbers are a little bit off and I'll have to take a peek at why that is. But next is, what's the name of the business you would like to partner with? And in this case, this would be your B2B service provider. And in this case, it's A+ Design. All right, describe the project you would like to get funded that will help to grow your business. So currently my website uses photos of my product that I took with my iPhone. Since I'm not a professional photographer, the lighting is sometimes different from photo to photo. My amateur photos cheapen the look of my high-end product. I would like for Seed Grant to pay for product photography from A+ Design. They have a deep portfolio of creating amazing product photography work. So this is a good answer because it clearly describes a problem and also points out why the partner has expertise in fixing that problem. All right, and the next question is, have you connected with the B2B service provider yet? So if you haven't, then if you click no, then the application will basically just end. It's important that you've connected with your partner, and that's something that we're trying to actively help with during this cohort, this application window. So we'll go ahead and click yes. And then what's the address? So they must also be located in the Bay Area. So there's 9 counties of the Bay Area. Their website, phone number. Okay, and then does this business owner of the company you want to partner with identify with any of the following? And the reason we ask this is for grant information. The folks who are giving us the grant money, they like to track this kind of data. So we're just going to say Middle Eastern. Okay. Next, we'll review the project plan to help your business that you have developed with your B2B service provider. So this is going into the project plan. So this is kind of the meat of the entire application, the most important part. So what kind of ROI are you expecting to get, and how will you measure the results? So I'm going to read why it's a good answer first. So the applicant gives us comparables to understand what the industry average should be. The applicant also gives us a baseline number of where they want to see results. Most importantly, the applicant identifies their data points other than sales that can help prove that product photography is improving his business performance. So just to read it, by hiring this photography agency to improve my product photography, I hope to increase my online sales. Currently, I sell about 50K worth of product a year. Similar competitors sell 500K a year. I believe that by improving my product photography, I can grow my sales close to a competitor's make to at least 100K. I can measure my ROI by analyzing website analytics since I have a baseline average for sales, any increases can be made. Improving bounce rate. So getting very granular around things that they are going to measure and examine as a result, see if there is a positive net effect on their business. So I am going to be a little bit more high level for the rest of these answers. So what is the schedule and when are the major deliverables due? So as you can see, this is a 6-week project, so about a month and a half. And then for each of the different weeks, then it says explicitly what is going to be delivered by the B2B service provider. And just as a side note, at the beginning of the project kickoff, then we'll also have a meeting all together just to make sure things are aligned. And then midway through, we'll also have a meeting based on your timeline, and then also at the end. So how long will this take? 6 weeks, an ideal situation. Then how long will it take to see return on investment? And of course, this is a hypothesis, but knowing what you know about your business as the owner, then just try to be as realistic as possible, just so we understand like what we're actually measuring here. So in this case, they were very granular about the website traffic. So typically average around 100 visits a day. So after 4 weeks of analyzing, then they hope to have 2,800 visitors a day. So it's good because it gives a clear picture and is realistic in terms of what they're trying to accomplish. So moving on to the next one. Oops. So what hurdles might you encounter? So this is kind of identifying roadblocks. We find that it is helpful to think about what could go wrong and think about how to talk through and address them on the front end. If this area, seems unrealistic or not thoughtful, or we just want to see that the B2B service provider is experienced in doing what they're sought out to do. So just a question to evaluate that. So what work needs to be done before the project starts? So prior to the actual kickoff, then getting a list of the action items and deliverables that need to be exchanged before the actual work can begin. And how often will you meet with your B2B service provider and what cadence? So this will usually be every week, every other week, or every 3 weeks, sometimes twice a week, if it's like crunch time. And then who will be involved in those meetings, meaning from the B2B service provider side, who's going to be involved? In this case, we have an account manager, a photographer, and a creative director. And then on the recipient side, namely you as a business owner, we'll have the owner and the creative director on this side. All right, then almost done. How'd you hear about this grant? I'm going to say Eventbrite. And then one last question, how easy or hard was this to complete? So we'll go with pretty painless. Cool, so I got to update this, but so that's the whole application process. Before even opening this up, then there should be work done with your B2B service provider in order to create that project plan. So that might be 1 or 2 meetings in itself. But hopefully we'll be able to schedule a consultation with Desiree in order to help to provide you all the information you need and help you get set in the right direction. So any questions?
Oh, thank you. That was really great. And thanks for the Google Doc. It's really easy to follow. So my main concern, which the Google Doc answered, was sort of how to stage it out. Like you contact the business first, but I think you've given us enough time till the 22nd of July. So I think there's enough time to talk to the business, talk to you folks, you or Desi, and then fill out the form. So now it makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you have any current clients that you think might benefit from this, even for additional coaching from you, then feel free to refer to them. And we'd be happy to, make an ideal connection for you.
That's great.
We're all about it.
Yeah, I just submitted I wasn't on the network, but I just filled out a quick form while we were on the call. So thank you.
Awesome. Mariah, any questions? Any concerns?
Do you have to be in the Bay Area? What stipulates you to be in the Bay Area?
I mean, if you're registered at like Trellis, for example, then that might be a good.
Okay, because I'm very interested in applying, or like maybe I'll talk to Desi about this too, and you as well, because I'm in Stockton, and I know Stockton probably is not considered the Bay Area per se. So I'm like, how do I sneak in like for Taloa's Bakery? Like I'm just like.
Yeah, why don't you corner Desi and I on Sunday, and then we can talk about it.
Okay, I will.
Kia, Mark, do you guys have any questions? Oh, we are having.
Good. Thank you.
Oh, I have a question. This is Tatiana.
Hey, Tatiana, sorry about that.
It's okay. So can I schedule a consultation with you or Desi before finding the service provider? Because I don't know where to start or who.
Yeah. You can absolutely do that. I mean, if there's no other questions, then maybe you and I can stay on and just do it right now.
Oh, okay. It's not really quite where I am, but yeah.
Okay, well, that's all right. If you go to our website, which is Seed Network, then I'll link it in the chat, but under grants, you'll see that on the page, you can choose me with Desi or Aaron, and you can go from there to schedule some time.
Okay, thank you.
For sure. Side note, one of my other projects is called Coho Creative Hub. It's in Japantown, San Francisco. Tomorrow we're having our launch party, and we are working to bring creative artist energy back to Japantown, reinvigorate it. So we're gonna have several DJs, a fashion show, live performances, performance art, drumming, and several vendors, Japanese tattoo artists. That happens tomorrow, 5 to 9 in Japantown, next to Daiso. So just plugging that because I'm really excited about it. Awesome, y'all. Well, thanks for coming. We'll send out this replay or probably post it on our website. But again, it's seednetwork.biz. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out directly. It's Aaron at cultivatelabs.org, with cultivate with a K. Yeah, if you have the sample plan open, then it's definitely in there too, right here. So feel free to reach out.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, y'all. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. See you on Sunday. Bye.
See ya.